conversations. Hear the facts, hear the real-life stories, hear a view from the outside. Join Brayton Horn at 7:30am every Saturday on Nice Radio for A View from the Outside.
This society need a spectacle. It might help us to see some evil. This society need a spectacle.
Saturday it is, the 18th day in the month of February 2017. Morning time, it's now 29 minutes to go before 8 o'clock as we say good morning to Brayton Horn. Brayton, how are you doing?
I'm good, Randy. Good morning. How are you?
Life is great, life is great.
Yeah, good to hear you this morning. What is St. Vincent like? What is the weather like?
Beautiful day it is, beautiful day, nice and breezy. Had a nice little walk up the hill to the station. Feel good outside.
Great. It's always great to hear that one is taking advantage of that, or making use of the beauty that abounds in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Well, let me say good morning to you and good morning to all listeners of Nice Radio, wherever you might be. In London, it's the 18th of February 2017, as it is everywhere, and the weather is cloudy. The sun is trying to peer through the clouds, but it's having immense difficulty doing so. The temperature is 8 degrees Celsius, which is approximately 46 degrees Fahrenheit. On A View from the Outside this week, we look at the issue of symbol, SYMBOL, with the view being that the symbol of the star, the party symbol of the Unity Labour Party, ULP, which is emblazoned in concrete at the newly opened Argyle International Airport, is nothing less than crass, downright insensitive, and a slap in the face of an entire nation, a slap in the face of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A people and a nation that have been made to endure, and in fact, continue to endure, monumental sacrifice for the realization of this project. The Oxford Dictionary defines symbol as a shape or sign used to represent something such as an organization. It is a known fact that the star is the sign used to represent the ruling Unity Labour Party. It is also a known fact that the color red is the color used by the ULP to symbolize them. The terribly sad thing about the construction and display of the star is that its appearance, first seen on the eve of the opening ceremony of the airport, came at a time when the powers that be were trying, falsely and hypocritically, some claim, to convince people that they want love and unity in respect of the airport, of the airport project. The notion that their claim is false and hypocritical is grounded in the fact that a large red flag was held aloft and waved at the groundbreaking ceremony of the project. It is grounded in the fact that when the machinery to be used during the construction of the project arrived in the country, they were adorned with red and marched through the streets of Kingstown to Argyle and was combined with the lyrics of some most divisive songs. It is grounded in the fact that the star was emblazoned in concrete and shoved in the face of people over grounded in the fact that during the opening ceremony, large red flags, which perched one in particular above all else, inscribed with the letters ULP. It is grounded in the fact that the very podium used by the various speakers was fully decorated in red. Surely, not suggest unity, and certainly not the unity that is preached. Now, the Argyle Airport is a national project. It is a project which belongs to all Vincentians, and therefore, irrespective of which party or political party or individual is responsible for its realization, it is simply wrong to attach a party symbol to it. It is wrong irrespective of who gave the instruction or instructions for its erection. Attaching such a party symbol harbors nothing but rancor and disunity, and any right-thinking person will accept such a premise, will accept that it harbors disunity, and it rancors with the people. They will accept that and put out the clarion call for its removal. It should not have been erected in the first place, and it must not be allowed to remain. It must be removed for the benefit of all. Those who hold the reins of power in St. Vincent and the Grenadines will do well to learn from the lessons of history. And the lessons of history show that signs or symbols, especially political ones, which are erected to serve as a constant reminder to the people of a nation, are eventually torn down or dug up and destroyed when the people of that nation have had enough of such things being shoved in their faces. I remember going to Egypt for a family holiday back in 2008. And one of the things which struck me then was that everywhere we went, from Hurghada to Luxor to Alexandria to Cairo, there were numerous giant-sized billboards standing majestically above everything else with portraits of Hosni Mubarak, the then president of Egypt. The records will show that in 2011, just a mere 3 years after that visit to Egypt, President Mubarak was booted out of office by the same people in whose faces and upon whom he imposed himself. The images of Tahrir Square in Cairo are forever implanted in the minds of those around the world who witnessed the scene. The records will show how hundreds of thousands of Egyptians turned down those statues of President Mubarak, and every such trace of him is all but disappeared. The records will show too that he was tried and jailed along with his son Gamal, a one-time heir apparent to the presidency, and one other for having embezzled millions of dollars worth of state funds. Yes, that was the demise of President Hosni Mubarak, who ruled Egypt for more than 30 years. History will also show what happened to Saddam Hussein in Iraq. He ruled Iraq for over 30 years. And in that time, he had statues and monuments of himself erected all over the place. During the period of his demise and his expulsion from power, the world witnessed the scenes of the anger and venom with which those statues and monuments were destroyed, especially statue of him, which was brought down in Further Square in downtown Baghdad on the 9th of April 2003. During his expulsion from government, he was caught hiding in an underground hole before he was captured. he was later sentenced to death and was hanged on the 30th of December 2006. History will show too what happened to Colonel Muammar Gaddafi of Libya. And speaking of Colonel Gaddafi of Libya, he had some affinity to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and possibly to the Argyle airport. Muammar Gaddafi, Colonel, ruled Libya, some say with an iron fist, for over 40 years. He too erected statues and monuments of himself all over Libya. When his government was overthrown in 2011, the world witnessed the pictures of a man who was once so powerful, cowering and hiding in a culvert before he was captured and killed. The world witnessed too how the statues and monuments were torn down and destroyed. So, the lessons of history are there to be learned from. And one would hope that the powers that be in St. Vincent and the Grenadines become students of such history. People of a suppressed and oppressed nation act with venom and vengeance upon their oppressors when they get the relief from their oppression. Their reaction knows no bounds. And so the destruction of symbols and monuments and statues is just one way of how they react. One would hope that those who hold the reins of power in St. Vincent and the Grenadines do not allow it to get to that. One would hope that they recognize the crassness and folly of placing that symbol, the star, at the Argyle airport, and that it is removed with haste. One would hope too that once that star is removed and corrected, there is no repeat of such asinine display. The lessons of history ought to be learned. Those who hold the reins of power in St. Vincent and the Grenadines will do well to be guided by the words of the ancient, influential Greek statesman Pericles. Pericles said, what we leave behind, let me read that again. Pericles said, what we leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others. I want to repeat that. Pericles said, what we leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others. And those who hold the reins of power will do well too if we, as a people of St. and the Grenadines, continue to remind them of the words of the 8th President of the United States of America, Martin Van Buren. And President Martin Van Buren said, the government should not be guided by temporary excitement, but by sober thought. Randy, until next week, this is Britton Horn with a view from the outside, and with a reminder for those to send feedback, our listeners to send feedback to aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. That's aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. Randy, have a pleasant Saturday. Enjoy the weather, as you've said. Have a beautiful weekend and have a fruitful week ahead. Thank you.
Britton, thanks, man. You have a good one. Enjoy you and the family.
Thank you, Randy.